Hello, my name is Caitlin Small. Today is December 8th, 2019. I am going to be doing 3 trials to measure my maximum vertical jump height. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 trials of both doing the maximal vertical jump without strength shortening cycles and then with the strength shortening cycles. I'll do that 3 times, and then I'm going to find the average of the 3 between both of those on both of those. And then once I find that, I'm going to subtract my standing height, which I'm going to measure first, from the average to find my actual jump height. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the wall, put my hand all the way as high as it goes. Right here, there's a piece of tape there. I'm going to go ahead and mark it with the pencil. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start trial number 1. So I am going to start with doing it without the strength shortening cycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squat and jump up. There we go. That's our first height. Now I'm going to do it with the stretch shortening cycle. So that means I'm going to stand with just my feet touching and jump there. Perfect. Now I'm going to measure them. I'm going to take this tape measure, and first thing I'm going to measure is from my standing height to the floor. Oh, I'm going to need a pencil. Okay. This tape measure only goes to 5 feet, so I'm going to put another mark here. Which comes to a total of 78 inches, which is 195 centimeters. Next, I am going to measure the distance between the height and my standing height. And I'm going to start with the without height, which is, okay, we got that. That comes to 217.5 centimeters. The next one is the width. That comes to a total of 211.25 centimeters. Now I'm going to move on to trial 2. Remove these trial 1's tape. Okay, trial 2. We're going to do it again. I'm going to start with the without and then follow it with the with shortening cycle. One, no, 2. Now I'm going to measure once again. Going to take the measure from this one to my standing height. I'm going to add those together. That comes to a total of 221.25 centimeters for the without stretch shortening cycle. Next, I'm going to measure the width. I'm going to take that and add it to my standing height, which comes to a total of 212.5 centimeters. Now I'm going to remove those tapes and do trial number 3. Once again, I'm going to start it without the stretch shortening cycle. Good, and then I'm going to do it with. Now I'm going to measure them both once again. Without, and adding that comes to a total of 225.5 centimeters. Now with the stretch shortening cycle, after adding them together, comes to 220.5 centimeters. Now I am going to do some math and adding together all of the data from my 3 trials for the maximum vertical jump height without stretch shortening cycle adds up to an average of 222.91 centimeters. When I subtract my original standing height from that, it brings it down to 27.91 centimeters. So that would be how high, my average of how high I am jumping without a stretch shortening cycle from my standing height to that average height. Next, I'm going to do the maximum vertical jump height with stretch shortening cycle. When I add those three, when I add up the 3 numbers from my different trials, it comes to an average of 216.25 centimeters. When I subtract my standing height from that, I get 21.25 centimeters. So when I jump without the stretch shortening cycle, meaning when I squat down and jump, I am averaging a difference of 27.91 centimeters. And when I do it with the stretch shortening cycle, which I'm just standing regularly and then jump, it comes to an average of difference of 21.25 centimeters. So obviously that means when I do it without the stretch shortening cycle, I am able to jump higher than I did with the stretch shortening cycle. Thank you.